about how early you woke up.
6 a.m.
And you
It
went
was
to
horrible.
work,
Yes.
early shift.
Yeah, always 6 a.m. No,
Damn.
7 a.m. starts, and I have to wake up 6 a.m. to get there in time.
So I'm keeping you up. Okay, let's get this done on the double. Well, not on the double. We'll take the time that we need. So, we are back. How long has it been?
Almost 1 year exactly.
Almost 1 year exactly. Okay, so you've probably made a lot of progress then.
Yeah, at first I thought that I hadn't made that much, but then I started looking at the older pictures and oh man, there's a lot of progress.
It's good. This one, oh yeah, from beginning of October. Oh yeah, that is almost a year, yeah. 250 to 268. Yeah. Your face got a lot different, yeah. You're like screaming now.
Oh yeah, this was some Halloween NX I bought.
27k stat to 40k stat. 41 almost. 2.5 times your range. Oh, we didn't have weapon attack yet last time, so I can't even compare that one. This is the one
Yeah,
where
but I
the...
imagine it's a lot.
Yeah,
I think.
probably. Where critical damage was like the entire bar for some reason.
Yeah.
Super useful. All right, so what are you up to these days on the hero?
Just the normal bossing every week, trying to kill harder bosses.
Okay, and which ones are those?
Well, right now it's the hard Vihila that I'm practicing.
Okay, well,
And
you just saw me do
hard
it, so...
wheel as well. Yeah. I saw a little bit at least.
And hard well, you trying to do everything solo?
Yeah, still.
Okay. Yeah, it's all still possible, and then if you get really, really stuck, 6-job comes and then gives you a giant boost again, so...
Yeah, I was thinking about that because originally I had the plan to solo Black Mage as well, but with 6-job it's probably going to be much more doable and faster.
Yeah, and I don't know how you're doing with like Oz rings and stuff, but those boxes dropping from the bosses as well is gonna give you a lot of rewards for doing the higher level bosses, and getting a okay chance of getting an Oz ring from that, and then adding 6-job to that will make stuff like goals like soloing the Black Mage much more achievable. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been waiting for those rings.
You gonna do your floors for the chapter 4?
I don't think so. It doesn't seem so fun to do Tower of Oz.
No, I get that. Yeah, go just pray for like a Roar 3 from the weekly bosses, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's another 2 months out. It's gonna be a few more months. But then when you do get it, yeah, you're gonna feel it. Hopefully 2 rings, right? Because you're 2-minute class, so you'll want a ring swap for every 2-minute burst you have one on.
Do I want like a weapon jump?
Yeah.
And roar, yeah.
And roar, yeah. That'd be the setup for you. Okay, so so hard Vihela, how far did you get? Did you do normal Vihela?
Oh yeah, I can clear normal.
And for hard,
actually, I think 2 weeks ago I killed the first normal Vihela.
Okay.
Because before that I didn't use the healing fams, so it was kind of difficult.
Yeah, you want to be on the safe side and just use the healing fams. It's really people who are just super duper strong who could kill like a 1 or 2 bursts, can do like the damage fams and then basically just get a good burst and then hop around a little bit, play pretty safe, and then just do another big burst and then just nuke her. Makes more sense than to have something like that. You have like non-healing fams that are pretty good? I don't remember from last time.
Right. I should be at the very bottom.
I see. Okay. Yeah, you got 30 ID and 50 boss. That's better than what I have. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, and I don't think I'll be getting any new ones anytime soon.
And you've got the large drop or not yet? Just a 50... Is it a 60 or a 50?
I think it should be 60. I can check it.
Well, he's named 60, so I hope you checked it already.
Yeah,
Regular item drop rate.
let's see.
I remember that it's 50, but yeah, maybe there's a... Some of the lines are like the same name, but they have multiple outcomes, because, you know, Nexon. Yeah, if you want to get...
Yeah, it's
epics
it's 60.
It's 60, okay. You want to get epics first, so that you can get large drop rate, ideally, that's 100%, and then switch into uniques. You can check exclamation mark familiars, because all the details, plus all the maths behind it, so you can see where the numbers are coming from.
Yeah, that's what I was doing, but now that I'm in Cernium, I don't really get anything.
No, now you're dry on that, yeah. 270.
And also, I think I'll be farming for EXP for like the rest of my MapleStory career. So.
Possibly, yeah. Unless you get like side characters up to 250, right? Then you can make some familiars that way.
Maybe next patch. With the new burning.
Yeah, new burning. Have you given that some thought on who you're gonna burn?
Maybe Nightwalker or Mihail or Marksman.
Okay, so some options there. They're like your bossing mules now, or?
They are not, but I kind of like them, so.
Okay. So that would take them like past, they're like 200 or 210 now, and then that would take them all the way to 260?
Yeah, I think Mihail is under 200, but Marksman is at least 200.
Okay. Yeah, I like the Mihail a lot. I got the Marksman at 250, so that one's decent as well. And the Nightwalker I haven't... It's just the problem that there's just not enough time to play all the characters. But like Nightwalker I know is very good, of course, so that's never a bad option.
And that's also like one of the conditions I would like it to be, like a good solo bosser.
Yeah, especially if you want to make it a bossing mule, it would be... And you seem to be, in general, solo bossing, right? So...
yeah.
Okay, so normal Fiala is done. And how far did you get with hard Fiala?
I'm pretty sure I can kill it. I think last time I were in the fight for like 50 minutes, maybe. And I almost got it to half HP. Then I did something stupid and died.
Yeah, my run I was at 3 and then trying to cleanse and I got hit again. It was down to 1 and then, you know, you want to have your World Reaver available, World Reaver, slam the cleanse and then kind of get out of it. Short cooldown on World Reaver definitely saves you a lot of times. You want to use it quite a bit and then not just use it to get the little iframe, but also use it to reposition right after to make sure that the next thing also can't hit you. Like to use rush a lot and the up jump a lot as well. Like if the blue is coming in your direction, just up jump over it. And then by the time you land, you could do like 1 or even 2 attacks and then up jump again to dodge the swipe, right? Because there's a lot of delay between the initial stun and then the actual swipe. Or you can up jump and then blink, stay in the air a little bit, wait for the swipe and then land again. That's also an option.
Yeah, I haven't used up jump that much in Vihila. But I use the dash all the time. It's so great.
Yeah, the downside to dashing versus the up jumping is that you will dash through those poison blobs on the ground more, and then that'll lower your HP a bit more. So if you can, up jumping, if you're in the right position, right, horizontally, then up jumping is safer and doesn't cost you as much HP.
Yeah.
And what I like to
I'll
do,
have to try that out.
What I like to do if I want to get hit by threads because I need to cleanse, what I'll do is I'll up jump into a thread so that I'm not stuck on the ground the whole time. But basically I get hit on the way up, and then by the time I land, I can already move again.
Alright, yeah. So you don't have to use like a will skill for that then.
Exactly, yeah. I keep the will skill in case something weird happens with the blue or something, or I want to get out of position there. Yeah, those are little things that you can use. But yeah, on the hero it took a little bit of getting used to, but I already had cleared it on the arc. Arc is very different though, because there's a lot of dashing and like teleporting in the air and stuff, and the hero can't really do any of that. I do use the teleport skill though, right? You know the one I'm talking about that like snatches you to the target.
Yeah, flash blade, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if you're about to get slashed and there's threads spawning, you can also press it too early, so you want to be careful. I don't know if you've like spam clicked it before when you're about to get smacked by the blue. But
yeah, I can like teleport back to Hila then.
yeah, if you press it a little bit too early, you can actually teleport right before the blade, because you can actually you become you become unstunned right before she hits you with it, and it's actually possible if to press it too early and then teleport to her and then get smacked and then get flung through the map anyway. So make sure you press it right after you get hit, and then you can kind of nullify her mobility. Yeah. But then there's poison and a threat on her, and then you get hit by that one. So, but you have quite a lot of options. So yeah, you just have to practice a little bit with which option in which situation helps you the most.
Yeah, it depends on the lag as well, because sometimes, especially during peak hours, like it's impossible to do those things.
What's your ping usually when you're playing?
I'm not sure what it is, but with the exit lag, it's quite nice.
Yeah, exit lag. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say because that improved it a lot for me, and those small things that can be just annoying enough to get you killed sometimes, if those just barely happen or don't happen anymore, that's a nice difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so hard Vihila, and then what else is around that level? So you've done like all the normal Tenebris and then Chaos Gloom. Have you tried that one?
I haven't. I actually have to try it. I think I'm pretty close to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all the normal ones. I think last week I killed normal Darkner.
Yeah, oh, that's a fun one, right? Was that satisfying to finally chop that guy's head off?
I mean, the fight was like 6 minutes and I almost died out.
Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah.
And I have no clue what's happening in the fight.
Yeah, he's, yeah, his animations are, a lot of them look the same in the beginning, so it's hard to, like, you could see him, but you don't really know what it means, what he's doing, right? See, like...
Yeah, for me, I think it was like all the other clutter in the fight,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's
That
better
got
now
me
though,
all the
right?
time.
Because you can see the balls forming at the top of the map. You have more time to respond to those now.
Yeah, a little bit, I think.
They used to fall with like falling speed immediately. With that on top of everything made it even harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess some things for Dark now. When he like disappears, he's gonna crash down on your position, right? You could World Reaver that or up jump and blink. Up jump and blink, and then floating up will also get you over the side dash that he does when he's like charging his sword horizontally, and then he's about to make like a big move. You want to either get really high, or you can also duck under that. But that one is usually a little bit harder to duck because there's so many other things going on, right? But sometimes if it's empty and he's like charging the sword and he's like facing you and you don't know what to do, ducking could get you out of trouble there as well.
Oh, okay. I thought you can't like dodge it by any ways.
Yeah, it's either get way behind
I
him,
tried the up
iframe.
jump and blink, and that didn't work. But maybe I wasn't high enough.
Yeah, you have to up jump and blink and go up, because otherwise he still smacks you out of it, like through the map, and then you hit something else and you're dead.
Yeah.
So it's either iframe or get behind him or duck. Yeah, but there's some other things that when they hit you, either it's some of the CCs they take you out of duck, right? They make you stand up, and then you just pop your head up right in the attack, and you're a goner as well. So sometimes that's a saver. So I guess that's another one to put in your arsenal. But I guess for you, the best thing you could probably do is do the teleport to him and then dash through him, right? To get behind him quickly.
Yeah, I used that a few times.
And then you get stunned.
World Reaver is such a low cooldown. I usually have it up for the bigger skills that I need to dodge.
Yeah. If he's so in general you want to keep him in the middle-ish of the map, right? Very much like like Will and like HMAG. You don't want to let him get into the corner, and kind of like Hilla as well later, right? You don't want to have her sit in the corner and then do green and purples, and you have nowhere to dodge.
Yeah, it's super annoying when those bosses get into the corner.
Yeah, that you just have to go to the other side, but then you don't want to go all the way to the other corner, because then if they teleport to you, now they're in the other corner. Now you're now you're in that problem. But the thing with Darknell is that when he, if he's in a corner and he's doing like the really big charge, like he holds his sword up in the air and you see the message, if you just go to the other corner, then his attack doesn't reach all the way to the other side.
Okay.
Like, as soon as you can kind of see him in the corner of the screen that he's charging, and he's like, most of his body's in the screen, then his attack will reach you. But if you only see like a few pixels, or you don't even see him on your screen, then the attack will just miss. It'll just go past you. Yeah. Because sometimes, yeah, you don't know, like, oh, if I dodge on him, there's like a beam, there's like blue lightning, like you're just gonna die, and you don't have World Reaver up, then the best thing is just to run to the other side.
Yeah, I can't wait to test chaos mode on this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Darkness.
Yeah. It gets like every 25% or so of his HP, he summons like an extra one of his elites every single time he summons them. So in the beginning, it's like 2 or 3, and then it's like 4, and then it's like 5 or 6 at the end. Every single time he spawns any. So it's like 1 is attacking the left, 1 is attacking the right, 1 is in the air, and then there's a sniping and a blue ball at the same time. It's like, okay, this is super fun time.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, all the balls are falling, and the beams, and the blue lightning, and then he is attacking at the same time. Yeah, it's I had to run 5 times on my DA this week, because it's just super great.
Yeah, I guess it's just practice and practice.
Yeah, that's what I
Some
did in the
point it gets
beginning
easier.
too. Is just go in there and just get hit a bunch of times and just get used to like which attacks can you dodge, how fast is everything, what size are the hitboxes. Like the blue lightning hits very fast, which means that as soon as it hits, you can just jump through it again and be safe there, right? So you have to kind of be bold and don't run away too far from things. Run as far as you have to, and as soon as it fires, run back into it so you can keep him like in the pocket in the middle of the map, and you don't like let him get to the corner, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, that's just it. The starting is hard, and then especially when you go to chaos, it gets so much harder. But the thing with gloom is going to be that gloom is not, well, you've done normal, right? So you know, like you can really only do damage when he's opened, and then when he's closed, you basically just don't do anything. So the main thing for gloom is it's very burst reliant and knowing your timings. So it's just going to depend on how strong you are. When you could be like, okay, I do 1 big burst now, I pop all my skills. Knowing the timings of the opening, you know, like the first opening is around 05. So usually the 2-minute buffs, I usually start popping them like around 15 or 16 seconds on the timer. And then that means that I just do 1 opening, I do 1 burst, and then, you know, a little bit more legs, and then another opening, nothing, and then the opening after that, I'll have my burst back. But it'll depend on how strong you are. If you're stronger, then you can take off more percentage, and then you can force more openings, and then you could do back-to-back openings. And then, you know, then the boss's timing becomes different based on how strong you are. So that's also going to be another layer of the practice, is that you kind of have to figure out how strong your character is and what timing makes sense. Like if every time he opens up, your burst is like 5 seconds off or 10 seconds off, that means that the first time you got to try the next time you go in that you pop your burst like 5 or 10 seconds earlier so that it can come back faster for the next one, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, once you get a roar and 6 job, it's going to...
good burst window.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the buffs are pretty long.
Yep.
And the burst window is kind of short, so it's easy to like time that.
Mm-hmm. You could probably do double opening in the beginning, or maybe not, actually, maybe 40. Yeah, because I'm trying to compare to my hero a little bit. I don't know exactly my range, but with my burst, I'm at like 52k. You can't get him down to 70 probably normal, right, with 1 burst, or can you?
Well, I think I can, or at least I've done it once to get a double opening.
Yeah, nice.
But it also depends, like, what buffs do I use. I don't really need like any buffs for.
No, you don't. No, you don't really need them. Yeah, if you have them left over from another boss, and then you can do them a little bit faster, right?
Yeah, usually I like cluster some of these easier bosses and do them with the guild skills that are left.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I tried to do today, but then my enrage got turned off somehow in the first Vihela run, so I failed.
Oh no. Yeah, it's a lot of damage. Rage.
Yeah. I had like 2 minutes left. I could do maybe 1 more burst, but there was like the 75% of the last bar left or something. So I'm like, okay, this is not gonna happen. So I just left, and then I did with enrage again an hour later, and then I think it was 6.5 minutes left or something. So it's a pretty big difference.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you were saying what, hard will?
Yeah, I can on hard will I can get to phase 3 with a lot of lives, and I think there was last time there was like 12 minutes left, I think. So like time-wise, I think it's doable, but
You
the
need so,
webs
yeah.
were kinda
You need so much
fucking me.
damage. Yeah. You need to really get insanely good at dodging all of the attacks, right? So your Moonlight keeps building. There are upcoming changes from Korea with the Moonlight not being as punished as much in Hardwell, so that it will be easier to stay in P3 longer without getting locked in. And then, of course, again, adding the possibility of roar from the bosses, but you know that's a while longer. But and 6 job, that'll also give you access to a lot more bursts. So that should make it more reliable for you to like do 2 full bursts in Hardwell P3, like, you know, 1 on entry and then 1 2 minutes later, and then hopefully that's enough to get out. But that's right now that's kind of the goal, but like just enough extra mitigation on the damage. If I remember correctly, what they're changing is it's gonna be a little bit slower to gain Moonlight, but after you get hit, it's going to take way less time for you to start building up Moonlight again. Because right now, if you get hit like every 5 seconds, you build 0.
Yeah.
And it's going to change to like, if you get hit every 5 seconds, then for 3 seconds, you'll build up a little bit in between. So you'll build more. If you're like okay at dodging, you'll still build Moonlight.
That's going to help for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Especially for soloing. So I think those things together, plus you're going to be stronger then, you know, you're going to have an extra symbol then, and make some upgrades hopefully, maybe a Shining and a Cube sale around that time as well. So all of those things coming together, and you put good practice in now, and you just get a little bit better at dodging, then that's easy solo, and then, you know, you'll earn your book in no time.
Yeah, for sure.
Some people may struggle there, but you'll get it, trust. Alright, and what other bosses are around that point? Like Chaos Slime? I don't know if you've jumped into that one.
No, I haven't tested it out. But I'm doing normal slime, of course.
Yeah, Chaos Slime is like around the same thing, but it's a long boss fight, plus it's like a 3-minute burst thing, right? And you're a 2-minute class, so for solo you have a little bit of a mismatch there. You can honestly just burst every time you have burst. But once you have an Oz ring, you know, and that syncs with the 3 minutes, then yeah, it's really awkward. I don't like doing it on any of my characters either for that reason. I just got enough rings off of normal, so I just go into normal and boom it. But you know, if you're trying to do solo bossing progression, you got to do it like once just for the achievement and to cross it off your list, and then just go back to normal, you know. But
I had also this Guardian Angel ring, but I boomed it, so I really need a new one.
Yep. Did you go like 20 to 21 or?
No, I went for 22.
Ah, okay, yeah. That's how they
fell in the trap.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Yeah. So so I guess it'd be hard for Hela, I think, because of healing fams is very doable.
Yeah.
And then Sea Gloom. Well, and then maybe hard will, but you'd have to get like a really good run. Using your will skills as well to not like the eye, but like the cleanse skill to get out of the webs every now and then.
I didn't even know you can do it.
Yeah, like if you get pushed into the web, and you're like sealed, you can cleanse that, and then either heal or iframe if it's move after that. If you're getting stuck on lives or anything, but you could also cleanse Moonlight, and then that cleanses the webs, and then jump back, something like that.
Yeah, it's not the lives; it's more so like the webs filling the screen. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's normal. That's really normal. It's almost like you want to do like full bursts, and then just focus on dodging, or maybe wait for the first poison, right? Then bind, then burst, so you have the poison final damage extra, and then
that's what I've been doing.
And then really just focus on dodging and cleansing as much as possible. and then
Yeah,
try
I'll
to
have
get one more
to
batch.
try that if I just try. I try to dodge everything and then cleanse the webs.
Yeah.
Because so far I've been like DPSing to clear the boss faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't let the DPSing go at the... Right now, if you get hit, then you basically just... Every single time you get hit, you're setting yourself back. It makes the next burst so much more pressure, and it makes it so that you're not going to get like a third burst, right? And you probably need at least 3 at your current stage, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I've been getting like 2 bursts off, and
then he has
the
like
screen
what,
is full.
like 25-30% left or something.
Yeah, I think 40 or something left.
Yeah. See, so maybe the third burst wouldn't even be enough, right? Because you're getting like 30% per burst.
Yeah, I'll have to get like a little bit more DPS in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, damage. Yeah, if you have like 25, and then 10 plus 25, and another 10 plus 25, like 35, yeah. Yeah, an Ozring would make a huge difference, but yeah, you don't need me to tell you that. You already know that.
Yeah, and the same is for Lucid Phase 3.
Yeah. How is the Lucid
With
Phase
Ozring,
3?
I think I'm way off. I can't remember when I did the last battle analysis, but it wasn't even close back then.
Wasn't close, okay. Yeah, you're looking around like 12, 13 trill or something, right? On a equivalent dummy.
Yeah, and I think I was like 6 trill last time, but it's like 3 months ago.
Yeah,
I haven't made that much like gains.
Nah, this looks like way more than 6 trill. What I see, I would guess that this is like 8 or 9, if I had to guess from your.
Yeah.
Crit damage is still a bit low, though. That's probably something where you can... Well, you have the decent sharp eyes isn't on here, so you're like at 63, right? But...
Yeah. And then enrage, but I don't know if that shows as well.
Oh yeah, enrage is what, 20%?
Yeah, 20, and it shows in the
and final
details.
Yeah, because it's on. It's not hit dependent. It's buff dependent. Yeah. Okay, that makes it quite a bit better. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so boss wise, you're making good progress.
Yep.
Any that you... Yeah, I guess Sea Slime would be one that you'd have to decide for yourself what to do. But of course, you get a way better chance of rings for Sea Slime.
Yeah, and I don't really mind like long boss fights. It's part of the solo experience, I guess.
Yeah, what you do have to be careful though is the lasers hit way harder. They could actually like kill you, so you got to be careful for those. And the just standing on the rocks that are like around the map, the DPM, because of the potion cooldown, can actually put you like in danger of dying quite a bit. Like because I ran this week on my arc because I had G skills left, and I had to play like basically play like a bitch for like the last burst because I was down to 1 life because there's like a lot of damage going on.
That.
Yeah, you said the last part was a little little spooky, so I had to play way more carefully, hold my iframes and everything. Yeah. But yeah, and in that long of a boss fight, there's a lot of weird situations where things can just go a little bit off. And like I said, 2 minute, 3 minute, it's not ideal. But yeah,
I guess I'll have to like check if I do more damage if I always wait for the test.
Yeah, you can just do both scenarios and kind of see which which scenario is better for you, because you can kind of see the slime ring as like almost kind of like a pitch drop, right? But with way better chances of dropping. And most of the pitch bosses is like, really long boss fights, and then such a low chance of getting anything that you really just... You have to get a lot of personal satisfaction out of the crystal value and out of being able to kill the boss. But with slime, you're going to have a really good chance of getting that ring at the end. And then, whenever there's a new Star Forcing event, you'll get a really strong item out of it, if you get those clear. So I think in that sense, it's an annoying boss fight, and it can heal and everything, but it'll be more satisfying in terms of the drop results.
Yes, for sure. And I kind of feel pressured now to start doing it because I booked the previous ring. So
Yeah, yeah. Now you're back to the event ring.
yeah, event ring and then
Yeah.
a drop ring as well.
And a drop ring as well. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's not gonna make the other items, the other bosses, so easy to kill with not all the items on point. Right, you're getting to the point where every single item slot has to really pull their weight to support your character.
Yeah, I think previously I was using the Guardian Angel ring and the event ring. Because the event ring has like a really nice potential.
Yeah, 27. That's pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carries its weight. All right. Any other bosses or anything like that that you wanted to ask anything about?
Maybe like normal Seren, is that like a thing that people do?
I think people do it mostly for practice for hard. Normal Seren is less of a thing than normal Vihela, because normal Vihela still can drop the, I believe, the Dawn Pendant, right? So it can still, or the Daybreak Pendant, I should say. Still has drops that are like relevant.
The arcanes,
and even arcanes, yeah. Whereas normal Seren is really just can also drop a Daybreak Pendant, but normal Vihela can do that, so you wouldn't have to do Seren for that. It's more like around the time like you do Seren to get better at it, and then once you feel more confident, maybe you don't kill it, but you get like closer to killing it, then you group up with people to do hard Seren for the chance of the Mitra's Rage, and to unlock the skill at least once, so you get extra damage. Of course, you can't use the skill against Seren, but then you can use it against other bosses. But again, you're looking at extra power tweak there with or power creep, I should say, with 6-job coming and possible Oz rings, and then it is hard Vihela. It's a little bit deceptive, right? Because hard Vihela for this ranking is a little bit too high for GMS because we have healing femmes.
Yeah,
like, she's probably like here, I would say, like just below Gloom and Slime. Like just above normal Vihela, actually. Because saying that hard Dark Knell is easier than hard Vihela.
Like a damage check, I think.
Yeah, and like positioning and like timing check, honestly. But that's, as long as you have healing femmes, that's really what it comes down to. Yeah, mostly a damage check. But you have to stay focused, with your positioning for a long time, which is helpful for a lot of the other boss fights, so you don't stand in weird positions. Seren a lot of it also comes down to timing and positioning. It's not a super complicated boss fight, but you have to stand at the right place at the right time. For pretty much all of it, like when it comes down to the phases, when it comes down to the tests, it's good to have good communication with your party, especially if you're doing hard Seren. But yeah, if you're going to do solo, I mean, there are going to be extra difficulties, right? So there's going to be easy Kalos and easy Kaling once we get access also to more areas with more sacred power and everything, and faster leveling on the sacred symbols. And again, with 6-job and hopefully an Ozring. So, you're going to need to keep the levels going, but also the easy versions of the bosses, they made it lower levels so that it is more achievable to solo, and they even added the drops for the Eternals to the easy bosses. They're like half drops, so you need twice as many, but you still get something, right? Which is nice, because it's not like you can get arcanes from easy Lucid or Will or normal normal Lotus doesn't really give you arcanes straight up. Abzos straight up. So they did add that to that chunk of bosses with Kaling and Kalos. So that's quite nice.
Yeah, that sounds really nice.
So you can solo all the way up until Extreme Black Mage. No, probably.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because it's got to be Extreme Black Mage, and then probably the next level Chaos. Kalos, like normal Kaling, and then it's gonna be like hard, hard Kaling, or Chaos Kaling? Don't forget which one it is. But then Extreme Kaling is gonna be like way out there, and Extreme Kalos, and
Yeah, I think I have to wait for 7th chapter on that one.
Yeah, something like that. Like even now, like Extreme Seren has 5 or 6 times the HP of Extreme Black Mage or something. Like it's a lot of HP. And they're going to have to rethink their star system. I haven't seen in Korea what it is exactly, but it goes from 3 to 5 to, 10? There's going to be some...
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that they did this. The general order is pretty good, except that, Gollux is 4 difficulties in 1, so this one should probably be spread out, but most of it makes sense until you get to, like, Will and Hilla because of the healing fams, of course. That changes the boss fight a lot.
Yeah. And Hard Lucid as well, because of the phase 3.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, and of course, if you're doing certain things solo versus in a party, it will shift them, right? Because this is applying party damage, of course. But if you're soloing, then yeah, Hard Lucid is gonna get pushed. Well, it's gonna stay around the same area, but it's gonna get pushed a little bit. If you're like a very burst intensive class, then it'll be a lot easier. But then getting to P3 will be the hard part. So
yeah,
because then the DPM will be lacking. So I think that's only normal that when you're soloing, your class profile is going to alter where you end up. Yeah,
for sure.
Seren will be doable. But it's it's gonna be a lot of practice. But by then, yeah, you're gonna have 6 job and hopefully get an Ozring then to really get your bursts in and do a lot of damage. But you're probably gonna be like between 275 and 280 at that point.
Yeah, we'll see how much I like to grind until that.
Yeah, you're gonna be grinding for 6 job and your levels, so hopefully that'll get you some nice gains.
That's also why I didn't like rush levels right now, because I have to farm anyways for the 6 job.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be crowded up there. Did you see in Korea they made it so that you get double the spawn per map because so many people were grinding for 6 job that there wasn't enough.
Oh yeah.
Weren't enough maps to go around.
Yeah, I wonder if we get that in GM as well.
Yeah, we'll see how many people come back for. I mean, it is 6 job. It's gonna be like the biggest update to date. So
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if it would bring a lot of people back.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, you're already level 7 on your Cernium? Damn. A lot of event extra sacred symbols, huh?
Yeah, I was thinking of using those on like podium. Is it next? Or no. Hotel is next.
Hotel one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy too.
Get to 270.
There's 10 levels between the symbol, yeah, because you have 260 and 265. It makes sense that they're gonna crunch that, but it's nuts that you're already at level 7. Because I think I'm at like 875 for me, so it's like only like 1 level further, and then the next one is already the higher level.
On your DA, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something like that, yeah. So it's or 986 or something like that. Yeah, probably. So you're thinking about like chapter 5 rewards, right? Is what you're saying?
What chapter 5? Wait.
That has like a box with sacred symbols.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure those. But I was talking about the Savior rewards. Because at the time I was kind of like pushing levels if I would get to 270.
Ah, I see. Okay.
But it was so far off that I didn't.
So many hours, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 268.
At the start of the Savior event, I was pretty sure I would get there, but I didn't farm that much.
Yeah, you have to be really consistent over a long period of time. It's tough to grind that much. There were some good EXP bonuses, though. But yeah, I found myself not very motivated. Despite all those bonuses, that I wasn't really motivated to train either.
I usually go on like huge grinds, like last troop event I grinded from 250 to 261 in like 3 weeks or something. And then I burn out for like 2 months.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you got 9 levels in 3.5 months, or in 4 months actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you take the average over a longer period of time, and then,
Yeah, it evens out.
It evens out, yeah, exactly.
I don't know if we are getting like a good grinding event before 6th job.
Yeah, some people are hoping for something like a Night Troop again, but right now, what we're getting now is like the last stuff that was on the roadmap, essentially. So we're kind of looking for an update on roadmap up until New Age, and including New Age, kind of. Possibly with like Maplefest coming, they'll go more into that, you know?
Yeah. I think I read on my guild Discord, they were already like discussing Night Troop.
Yeah, people like to get ahead of themselves.
Trains to like Night Troop, so.
Yeah, people are looking forward to that. Because it was TMS, I think. Yeah, I had another one of those. So they're hoping it comes back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if that comes
let's
back.
hope we get that.
Yeah.
It's like a cracked event.
It's it's like a nerfed version of the original event, but it's still super good, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
The very first one that came out was like for 4 hours a day you basically got like plus 250% EXP or something. It's like it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's all the bossing part. How were we doing on the I guess the other big question is the equips, right? Or did you have any other stuff?
Yeah, that's most of it.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of need a plan for equips because I don't wanna boom anything more anymore.
Yeah, at least not without a plan. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine to boom things, but I need a plan for it.
Yeah. Something you can fall back on and not just be, well, now what? Be completely
yeah.
empty-handed. Are you keeping track of all your bossing mules? Income?
Yeah, I made that recently because
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to get to the point where I have so many bossing mules. So
Yeah, I'm gonna keep track. So you make around 9
Yeah.
bill without training?
Yeah.
Right. And you include like Maple and Ursus, like 1 extra bill that's on top of this, or that's included?
It's not included.
Okay. So like, you do that most of the time or no?
Lately I haven't been doing it, but I'll have to start doing it again.
Okay. So it's a 10 without training. All right, keep track of that. So yeah, we're kind of set up for possibly Cube Sale, possibly Shining, both around the end of November, but like close together, which makes it a bit harder to. Well, it makes it easier to say I'm just going to save everything up until then, but it makes it harder to say when it comes around. Well, how much of my money goes to one, how much goes to the other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because usually
That's been the thing that I've been thinking about a lot.
yeah,
because I think my potentials are a little bit behind.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to the Star Force.
At 371 and around 40k. Yeah, that's probably a bit lopsided. And well, you also have like 1 event ring, right? That immediately makes a huge difference. Because if everything is 20 stars and if someone else has everything 22 stars, or you have everything 22 stars and 1 event ring, you have like the same. You can have like almost the same Star Force, which is of course very misleading.
Yeah.
And you have 200 weapon, right? You don't have a shield.
Yeah, 200.
Because that can make the Star Force also look very different. Yeah, so I have it set here like around 385-ish. And then stat, you want to be like, yeah, second half of the 40s, closer towards 50. But it makes sense if you're saving. How much money have you saved up now?
I think I only have like 10 bill.
Okay. So have you been spending or just not making as much?
Both actually.
Okay, that's a bad combo.
Yeah, I haven't been doing those bossing mills every week.
I see.
And then I've been pushing some items on the bossing mills as well.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's hard to motivate yourself to do the bossing mules if they take too long or they can't do everything you want. So sometimes you have to just kind of reinvest their money into it for a little bit until you get them to that critical mass where you feel like they can do what you want, right?
That's exactly what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Just to speed them up a little bit.
Oh, just a small thing. I see you still have Silent Crusade coins. You can still exchange them for Meso bags until early January, I think. If you go to the event hall and talk to the admin, you can access the shop there.
I read something about that. I'll have to do it.
You just get some. I did that on all of my mules. Just go through all of them, just get all the bags so that I don't forget. And you got you get some decent money out of it. And now we get those spell traces you can just sell, right? So you get the money up front.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we have. We have a beautiful ring trace. You've got a Twilight mark, 3 pap marks. Drop in Meso set. That's all complete, or like you're equipping one of the rings now. That's why there's 8 pieces here. Yeah.
Yeah. And also there is no meso at all.
You have no mesoptane whatsoever.
Yeah, I used to have, but I rolled out of it because I'm not really using that for training anytime soon.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, again, maybe with 6 job and with the EXP changing, right? Sorry, the EXP and the HP changing, maybe then drop rate gear does make more sense. Or if by then the bossing mules make more money and the extra terror burn bossing mule, you know, all of that added together, that could make it so that your weekly income and your grinding, because I was talking about it yesterday, because like someone was like, oh, I'm training, this guy's training 10 hours a day, and it's like, well, yeah, if you're making like 400 mil an hour, you know, because you can't scale your Legion coupons, but if you have some mesoptane on, you can make 400, 500 mil an hour.
Yeah.
And if you train 10 hours, you're making 4 to 5 mil a day from training. Like, you don't need to go out of your way and do all your bossing mules then. You just keep grinding, you know? Like, you still make more money that way.
Yeah, for sure. But I haven't been grinding that much, though. And for the situation I was in, because I was thinking if I would farm for familiars or then for EXP. And both of those cases I didn't really use the meso gear, so drop is very nice for bossing.
Yeah, unless you have the hybrid set, right? If you have like a line of meso, a line of drop, like kind of combination, then you can just have one set that does everything. And eventually that's what you want to get to, yeah.
Yeah.
It's expensive, of course, to get there.
Yep.
Or you just need to keep rolling. I've got some sets that do somewhat like that, but most of it was just with red cubes or with glowing cubes, but just rolling a lot, right? In the beginning, you're just rolling for drop or meso, then you're rolling for the right combination of drop meso for the 5-4, then you're rolling maybe for drop and meso with a line of stat, then you're rolling for the bossing pieces with a lot of stat on there, then you're re-rolling some pieces for extra drop rate once they are no longer damage gear, and then in all of those processes, eventually some double lines and some hybrid equips like kind of roll out, and then you build your whole set around those pieces essentially. But I've never actually gone like, I need buy bright cubes, and I need to get double meso or double drop or, you know, or combination lines. But that might be a very luxury position, but that's happened with all of my characters so far, so it does feel like you don't need to actively chase that too much, because it is quite expensive, right? It's like 18 bill, I think, of bright cubes if you wanted to specifically get a double meso or a double drop equip. That's quite a lot of grinding you have to do to make that money back.
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks of bossing mules to get one item.
Yeah. If you look at it like that, then it takes a while for sure. What's with all the hats? What's the idea here?
I was thinking about going for 22 for the 6-star mission.
Oh, I see.
But then I didn't, so I'm just holding on to those.
Okay. Well, as long as you have inventory space. Yeah, maybe. As long as you have inventory space, then it's whatever, right? If it starts getting into trouble, then you can always get rid of it. Okay, it's pretty compact. You're building up some Gollux coins as well. That's good, because you never really have too many of those unless you're full 22 superior, which I'm guessing you're not yet.
Full 22.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yep.
That's nice. So now you still, but then you still need pendants and ring backups for foddering, right? So again, never really done.
Yeah, I saved those for the rings and pendants.
Yeah.
But I haven't done Gollux in like 6 months or something.
Okay. Yeah, I like to do, maybe if I'm like doing my weeklies, just like incorporate it into weekly, so you at least do it once a week, so you can build up a little bit more. But yeah, daily is definitely, you have to have the time for that, and you might not want that like always hanging over your head, like, oh, I have to do Gollux still today, I have to do Gollux today. Even if it's just going there and killing it in like less than a minute, right? But if you have drop rate on...
for a while I did it with you on stream, but...
while ago. Yeah, back when I did the train for my bossing mules. Oh god, that was a while ago. Yeah. I never really completed that either. All those characters have like half a set now. So...
Yeah, mine has like 100 coins each or something.
Yeah. Maybe we'll start that up again one day, to get everyone motivated to to do it. But now the
Yeah.
5% line is in there, so now you have to worry about that stuff for drops.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll just push my mules to the point that they can solo it and then get those.
Mm-hmm. Oh, someone
Or
wants...
at least close and do or something.
Yeah. Someone wants to know your total money spent on star forcing. Have you checked that before?
No, where is it?
If you go to the achievements and then you just look up Star Force, but you have to spell it correctly. I think you have to spell it in 2 words and capitalize star and force, I think. To find
First
it.
I have to find the achievements.
Menu,
here, yeah.
5th one from the bottom. Yeah.
Then Star Force.
Yeah, and then it's all the way on the bottom. It's like it tracks how much money you've spent. I'm at 400 booms almost, guys. We're getting there. 1,000 booms is a lot.
Wait, where is it? Oh, here.
Yeah.
The 1 trillion club.
You completed that 1 trill?
No, I'm at 181 billion.
Okay. Oh, so it's double what you thought. Keep it going. 181, nice. I'm at...
I don't think that's a lot still, I guess.
No, I have almost 10 times what you have.
Yeah.
I'm at 1.7 trill.
That's a lot.
I'm going towards the 5 trillion club, yeah. That's a lot of mezzo if you look at it like that, Jesus. And it's all, pretty much all on events as well, so...
Yeah.
That's almost worth, that's worth anywhere from like 20 to 50% more.
Yeah, and on top of that it doesn't track any of the potentials and stuff.
No, yeah, it's really only just one metric, yeah. Okay. So, a plan. Yeah, so I would say definitely going into Sea Slime to get yourself some slime rings, so you get options there is going to be one of the big ones, right? Trying to get a large Star Force ring instead of a event ring is going to make a huge difference for your stuff. You've got some 22s, 19 kind of treasure. It's probably worth to end up with a 21 kind of treasure at least as a 4th ring. And you might be thinking, well, yeah, Oz rings eventually. But also when you get Oz rings eventually, in the process towards getting the slime, let's say the slime booms again or something, 20 to 21 or 21 to 22, whatever, then you can also just use the slime ring, the kind of treasure ring, if you want to, you know, as a transfer hammer to like go in again and try again, right? So you never really lose that value completely.
Didn't they plan to make like a slot for those rings?
Oh god, what's the situation with that again?
Because I think I read somewhere that they would make like a different slot for those rings.
Yeah, I've heard about that, but we're talking about upgrading the Oz rings.
No, like equipment slot. So that you would have you would equip like 4 rings and then 1 Oz ring on top of that.
Was that in one of the... But I mean, if that is true, like all the more reasons to get your kind of treasure ring 21, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's even more of a reason too. But it's good to think about the contingency like that for sure. But I think you just want the high star kind of treasure.
Yeah, especially with all the backups.
Yeah, exactly. Right, that pushes it to the front in terms of like right behind the hat, essentially.
Yeah.
And how are your dineros? You had some of those, right? But you haven't been doing that. Okay, you have 1 backup. So you're putting your money into
I haven't been doing that either.
into the pitch basket.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
I mean, I do have the Twilight mark, and the monocle is already like 21 stars. So.
Okay, yeah. Independent is 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could stand on 21 for a lot of the bosses. If you're soloing though, you're gonna need to get everything out of the out of your character that you can get, right? So you will eventually be wanting for 22s. But I would say, I mean, like Slime Ring is definitely one. Kana Treasuring is one. Twilight Mark, you just need more backups. Besides that, it's going to be like rouletting your arcanes up. You want to get at least, especially if you're like prepping for, what are these flames, bro? 104, 1085, 156 on the shoot. Jeez, okay. If you're like prepping for Black Mage stuff, you definitely want to get the arcanes like up to 19. Weapon perhaps as well. You have no arcane backups whatsoever?
I have one weapon.
One weapon.
Got it last week.
Okay, grats.
Thank you.
It does mean, yeah, that you can try for 19, of course, when it comes up. But like 17 to 19 is a huge upgrade compared to how much more expensive every single other thing is on your account.
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from like even a 21 slime, 21 kind of treasure, I think would already be really good. Then probably could try to get the hat to 22 and arcanes to 19. And other than that, it's all just cubing, all just potentials.
Yeah, I've been kind of scared about those arcanes because I heard they cost a lot.
They cost a lot. Yeah, that's why you want to hopefully get like a few backups, but you can buy... you've got plenty of backups from Lucid and Will droplets, right?
Yeah, I think I have 15 and 27 droplet stones.
Okay, so that's not an insane amount. But yeah, okay. But the thing is that they are kind of... Yeah, the boxes... So you need two things. You need backups. Well, ideally three things, but you need at least two things. You need backups and you need money. And then the third thing that you kind of want is an event to slam them together, right?
Yeah.
And you're kind of in a position now where you don't have, at this point, at least not in the near future, you don't have any of the three. You don't have that many backups. For some things you do, but not that many. You don't have that much money because your projects are going to get really expensive. I don't know if you've looked around in the calculator to see how much these things can possibly cost you.
No, not really.
Because if you're looking at, you kind of, well, yeah, the other ones are really close in terms of just like 1 star extra, but even just making like a 21 star slime ring, let's see, we just like so 21, 150. Is your guild working on the enhancement area?
Yeah, I think we need like 3 more drops or something to get it.
Okay, that's nice. Like if you're doing 5, 10, 15, yeah, you're looking at like 6 bill or something for the ring, 6 to 7 bill probably for the ring at least. That's doable.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at like the arcanes and getting to 19, that's not necessarily super expensive for each thing, but there's more of a outlier possibility in case stuff booms, right? Then it can get really expensive really quickly. But you're looking like at least 5 bill, but you have like average booms is 2/3 of a chance. If you're doing 5 items, you're probably going to see 2 to 3 booms.
How much would it cost off event if I happen to get like a box?
I think it's 50, not quite 50% more. Median cost doesn't go up that much, but the average cost goes up about 1.7, so it's like 30%.
And the booms double.
The booms double, yeah. And on the upper end, triple.
That's the scary part.
Yeah, because more chance to boom also means a higher chance of this stuff happening. Where instead of spending 4 to 6, you're spending 13 to 15. Yeah. Yeah. So if you have the money and you don't have the event, but you have the backups, then you have 2 out of 3, right? And then you can go, and then you can kind of make maybe not the most optimal choices overall, but in that time, having like a universal backup in a box could potentially get you in a situation where you get like 1 or 2 pieces to 19 and the other 2 to 18 with just 1 backup. or 19, 17, 18, 18, something like that, in case one booms, right? And then that'll overall save you a lot of money. But if you want to be able to put yourself in a position that you can do that, then you have to make more money. If not, then you have like 2 months to make as much cash as you possibly can. Just pick one of each of the items as a backup and just keep alternating until the event comes, and then put them together, backups, money, and event at the same time.
Yeah, I guess the most optimal way would be to get that box right before the event.
Yes, yeah, that would be the dream. Yeah, you get 1 or 2 boxes, God forbid. And that's why also people just rush to those high-level bosses, because you just have so many more instances of possibly getting the boxes, right? Fiala can drop them, and then Sea Gloom, and if you're hard soloing Hard Will, and you have so many more bosses that can possibly drop them. Yeah, if you have one during an event, I mean, that's very rare though. I wouldn't try to count on that whatsoever. But yeah, then you're golden, because then you can just freely tap until anything booms. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I kinda want to clear Hard Hill next week already, and then I have the boss reset tickets as well for it.
Yes, that's also a good point. Yeah, boss reset tickets. You haven't used those yet, or yeah, because Will and Lucid you can't. So
yeah, I used one on normal Vehilla.
Okay, yeah.
But I have 5 left for hard.
Yeah. Yeah, and they have limited time, so you can't wait too long to use them on stuff. Yeah. Maybe you can use them on Sea Slime if that one works, for more chances for rings.
Yeah, for sure as well. I'll have to try the boss first to see.
Yeah. Let's do that first, and then.
How bad that is.
Yeah, exactly, and then we can always make the decision afterwards. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, these money doesn't look too scary, but the thing is just they're averages, right? And one will get a little bit luckier, and then one will just get way worse, and then you're looking at like several weeks of your income just for a single item, and then one booms 3 times, and so you want to have contingencies there. So I think the main thing you want to worry about is try to get a slime ring in there. Like the next Star Force event is like try to get a slime ring in there, and the higher Star Force kind of treasuring, and finish up the hat to 22. And then depending on how many backups and everything you have to Arcane, I'd look towards at least 18 all the Arcanes, but possibly to 19. But I'll let that depend on how many backups you have at that point and what you can afford. But I wouldn't push past that. Anything you have like available fund-wise past that, I would say would all go to cubes. Because you're also kind of at that situation where if you have 21 and 22 everything and 19 Arcanes, you're also at the point where redoing your WSE becomes, and going for 3-line or like 2.5 line-ish would be better for your WSE. So like if you were to roll, let's say even just IED and 2 lines of attack on your emblem, which wouldn't necessarily be an upgrade to what you have now, that would completely free up your secondary, and then you would be able to freely reroll your secondary to either 2 boss, 1 attack, or 2 attack, 1 boss. Because then you wouldn't need the IED at all there anymore, right? And which you probably already don't really need, but if you're soloing and you're not getting party IED and everything, and you want to do Seren and stuff and bosses with 380% PDR, you have 1 IED familiar, but you want to err on the side of caution a little bit there on the IED. So I would probably
I think I was like close to like almost like 99% with full buffs.
Yeah, that is quite high. That's quite high.
Yeah.
So you can't get rid of that. But I'm just saying it as an out because it's most likely going to happen on your emblem that you get some kind of IED 2-line attack combination before you see 3-line attack. That's just probably what's going to happen. I mean, in this setup, you probably roll your secondary first if your IED is that high. But you can always just make a secondary on the side and just mass roll with red cubes so you don't possibly end up with a really shitty one, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's probably then option 1. So when it comes to the cubing side,
I guess we are getting emblem as well if I would take it on this guy.
You could also do that, yeah. Get a second emblem on the side and do the same thing basically as with the second medal. Yeah, and there's no real other character where that would be. I mean, like a bossing mule, right? You get immediately a legendary, but again, like when your account is in this state, a legendary item sounds like an amazing thing, but it's like a bill basically that you're getting, right? It's and that makes it way less wow in terms of the value that you're getting. So that's how you want to look at it. But yeah, when it comes to the cubing, I mean, technically, like the first order would be, especially all the 22 stuff, would be getting your accessories all to like 27%, or like 30% if it's 160 plus.
Yeah.
That'd be the first thing to look for, and then right after that, I think it would be to look at your WSE in terms of like cost efficiency and value that you can gain. So if you're gonna get 2 on the side, then you can just mass red roll or glowing cube. Sorry, those 2 things. But yeah, you're dealing with 19% crit as well, so you make sure that you have a contingency for the crit, that you don't suddenly fall down to 70% critical rate, because then your damage just falls apart.
Yeah, I think I can substitute that from somewhere.
Yeah, between hyperstats, Link skill maybe temporarily until the Legion grid picks up to like 9k or something. You get more 250s. Yeah, I would focus on the secondary, and then based on what the secondary rolls. Right after the secondary, I probably roll the emblem last, even though the emblem is kind of the cheapest. But with the lines that the emblem already has, it's going to be the hardest to like roll exactly what you want. Like there's a bunch of other outs. Like my hero has 2-line attack, 1-line boss on the weapon, and then 2-line boss, 1-line attack on the secondary. And then the emblem, I'm actually not sure what I have. I might have IED 2 attack or 2 attack and 1 crit, like something like you have, or a line of damage or something on the 3rd line.
Yeah.
That would be, not ideal, but in terms of value for your whole character, would be like a good budget solution for someone who is not making like 40 bill a week, right? But also who wants to solo the bosses, so they do need those pieces to do more than what they're doing now. So I would aim for potentials in that like ballpark.
Yeah. Do you think it's still more valuable to go for the Star Force first, like the Slime Ring and 19 Arcanes, compared to like the potentials on WSE?
Well, if you can get at least like 10 bill a week, and we're looking at, it's got to be at least 9 to 10 weeks, so like somewhere between 90 and 100 bill extra, and you can make it so that you don't start spending your money and you start saving. Let's say you get to around 100 bill a week. All of that Star Forcing we talked about, if that eats up like, broad estimate, something like 40, and then like 60 goes towards cubing during a cube sale, that's still a lot of cubing.
Yeah.
So I think you could manage. Yeah, you can manage the accessories getting like to 24, 27, 30, around there, and then the WSE getting something nice. That should be doable within that budget. If there's anything left, you just keep red cubing and you try to hit some 24s, 27s, 30s, 33s, whatever, on everything else as well.
Yeah.
And then CRA lasts, because remember, CRA sucks.
Yeah.
So it's
How hard is it to get cooldown hat? Last time I think we spoke about that, but I haven't got around to cubing that.
Well, I think the current meta is to not get a cooldown hat for heroes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it kind of
Changed.
shifted. Yeah, so when they changed the final damage used to be on World Reaver, right? And people has to use it for their burst. And then they changed and they added the final damage to the Sword Illusion instead. And that made people not need the cooldown hat as much anymore. It made the stat more valuable.
So basically, cooldown hat is like more survivability and stat is for damage.
Well, if you want to get into it, from what I understand now, a 3-second cooldown hat is like best in slot for things like Culvert, because then you can set up your skill rotation before Culvert optimally, switch hats, have lower cooldown, and then have 3 extra seconds of like your second big burst in the Culvert, and that allows people to get like a few thousand more Culvert score on the high end for players.
That's not something I...
Yeah, that's for like people getting
about.
like 25 to 30k Culvert scores, so...
Yeah.
You're probably doing... What are you doing, like 3.5 to 4? No, you're probably doing...
Yeah, I think...
4.5?
I think 4 is around 4
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
if I focus. But sometimes I just I'm in a rush and I go in and I get like 2.5 or something.
Yeah, and then you look afterwards, you're like, oh, my Legion was still on mobbing. Fuck it, I did it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking with Zelpex with that a little bit. He says that there might be some stuff about cooldown hats maybe coming back for 6 job, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. There's 6 job as well is like a lot of people are drawing a lot of conclusions already from what they saw from 6 job in Korea. First of all, we haven't seen 6 job in GMS yet, so we don't know exactly how that's going to impact us. Is it going to be exactly the same? Is it going to be more or less? What is the balance going to be? And then the other thing is also we're just seeing the first chapter of 6 job, and then there's much more to come. So just because, this one, and of course, every chapter is going to probably have like at least three, but probably 6 months in between, for extra additions. So you will have 3 to 6 months that you can rely on a certain upgrade you make. So it's not like, oh, just skip it all because it's going to change in the future. But if it's going to be a significant change, always be careful of like, oh, I'm going to get 1% more final damage if I spend like 150 bill recubing this thing. And then like 3 months later, you have to do it over because something else changed. And it's like, yeah, there's a very heavy price to min-maxing. That's why I'm also telling you, like, that's like the potential that I would aim for you for like the WSE. That's not what you want eventually, but with your budget and your reliable backups and your, what you get access to, that seems for me the optimal that you should be aiming for, like your personal best in slot.
Yeah. What do you think if I have trouble with some of the bosses? Should I like try to get the weapon up a little bit just to ease with the bosses before like those bigger events, because I have one backup.
Yeah, if there's there should be another cycle of Sunny Sundays available soon, right? Because we only have available. Yeah, we only have 2 more. Yeah, if the next one has like a 5, 10, 15, I'd say you can try tapping it. Yeah. Fuck it, dude. Just try for 19.
In case I need it for, because I think would be very beneficial to get those. Arcane drops from the harder bosses. And if I can do them, then it's hindering my process.
If investing that money a little bit earlier gets you like 1 or 2 extra backups, then you're spending like an extra 2 bill or something because you're not getting discounted. But if you get a drop, that's worth 5. So
yeah.
Okay. You're at the point where if you can add 1 or 2 more bosses into your rotation, you're almost doubling your odds. So
that's getting more money as well. So.
Yeah, bigger crystal. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if there's a 5 and 15, I would say go for it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's different questions than last time, huh?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Luck and change in
more
a year.
Exciting questions as well.
Yeah, I just look at all the Zakum helmets from last year.
those are still around, but I didn't include those pictures.
So the uniform. Well, there's a lot more 200s in there, I'm guessing now.
Yeah, for sure. I still have a lot of Legion work to do, but I'm waiting for Monk Potions.
Yeah, I mean, when you're at like 8.5, it's crazy because when you're like at 6 or 6.5, you're like, oh my god, how much more can I possibly do? And then when you're at 8.5, you're like, oh, nothing's actually done yet. You see what your bar is for like, this is where you can still improve more. It changes so much as you move through the game. It's kind of wild. Using the 4, yeah. You still have some room for growth in your matrix as well, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about using those nodes we get from event experience nodes for the main now, because for a while I used them on the mules and stuff.
Yeah, instinctual weapon aura is really nice because the duration is really high now, and it is IED and final damage. So especially if you're going to be rolling out of that IED from that secondary, then it's good to fill that up a little bit, just because damage doesn't drop too much. And the Goddess Blessing is going to help you with your burst quite a bit as well. Sword
How
Illusion
about the Sword Illusion? Because I think that's like the lowest level of my skill nodes.
Yeah, that's the lowest here. If I remember correctly, I think the order is Instinctual, then Goddess, then Aura, then Sword Illusion, and then World Reaver's like dead last. Some people don't even don't even max it, only if they have like a bunch of free nodes lying around.
Yeah, I guess it only gets like more damage percent.
Yeah, and most of the time you're using it to get out of situations, so it might even be the case that the boss is not even targetable and you don't even hit the boss with it. You know, it's really just a utility skill. It helps in mobbing, but most giant AoEs like that with mobbing, they already one-shot, like even, you know, if you keep it at level 1, so...
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a really low priority for that. Weapon Aura is just, yeah, the uptime and the final damage check and the IED, plus the extra, you know, the extra aura swipe that misses a lot of the times, but it's a nice little extra damage as well.
Yeah, I noticed they make some change for Weapon Aura. Now you get like 2 stacks on it, like the Goddess as well.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, with the timing.
Yeah, that's kind of nice now for the uptime.
Yeah, the uptime is really good, but it's still getting... I'm still getting used to it. So basically, if you have it maxed, or... Yeah, I think if you haven't... Do I have it maxed? No, I probably don't have it maxed in my hero. But it's something like if you use it, and then once you see the cooldown, like 20 seconds until you get the next stack, then you have to reuse it. And then like after the third one, you have a little bit of downtime before you can use the fourth one or something. But there's a lot of bosses where either there's a little bit of downtime or there's tests or something, and then if it times up, you know, if it syncs up, then that just means that you have a little bit of downtime while you're not doing anything anyway, so you don't really lose that much on it. So it's a nicer system than before, but I feel like when you log in, you should just get your stacks and not have to like wait 6 minutes, or some classes have to wait like 8 minutes to get their 2 stacks. It's a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's a really good way of them to increase their overall playtime, right? Because people have to sit around for 10 minutes before they could do anything.
Yeah, or wait for good skills or...
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
at least I don't have to wait to enter the boss fight anymore.
Yeah, that's a big change. That one, and automatically making a party for you or kicking you from your party if you don't need to, so you can just like boom, click, go in. Like, yeah, that's a lot of... And not having to go for buff freezers and the cash up every time. Those things...
Yeah, that's super nice, especially for the bossing mules.
Yeah, and just not crashing. You know, I haven't crashed in a bit because I just don't go into cash ups, or crash up as we used to call. Rightfully so.
Yeah, I haven't crashed either, but for some reason when I stream on Discord, I always crash.
Oh yeah, it's just enough. Well, the thing that I'm always checking, like monitoring my resources and stuff also for stream, and the thing that would just happen in the cache up is that my Ethernet would just peak and it would just overload, and then if it can't load, it just closed the game.
Yeah.
So I am assuming if your Discord streaming...
I used to be able to stream, but with the recent update, it changed something, and now I can't stream on Discord
something
anymore.
Somewhere changes, and then
Yeah. I mean, I can stream the screen, but I can't stream the application.
Oh, interesting. Draxus said it might be different if you have pop-out chat.
Yeah, I have pop-out, but it used to work with pop-out chat as well.
Maybe try without, see if that makes a difference.
Yeah, I'll have to try that.
Put it on the list of things to try.
Yeah.
A lot of those.
I guess that's like the least important thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it can be just annoying if it's used to work and then suddenly it stops working, right?
Yeah, because every now and then I stream MapleStory for my friends who don't play it. They're kind of curious.
They can live vicariously. They can be like, okay, no, I don't need, or like, oh, maybe.
Yeah, they're like interested in the boss fight. So.
Yeah, some of them are pretty.
Few of them tried the game, but they didn't last very long.
Yeah, I had like one friend that tried to get to play it. He got to like, well, this is like, I'm talking about like 15 years ago or something. But he got to like level 17 or something. I was like, nope, never mind.
Yeah.
Like 1 or 2 playing sessions, I was like, nah, it's just not for me. Yeah, other than that,
one friend played for like 2 hours and then he quit and haven't seen him since.
It's just, you've got some like really good flames and then some that definitely need some work, but all of that is just for... That's for after all of that, what we just talked about. Flames are just for, way beyond. If you get event flames and stuff, you know which items are shitty and which items can use it, right? And if you have black flames, you can either use them on your weapon or whatever is your quote-unquote weakest arcane otherwise. But other than that, yeah, you just don't really worry about flaming at all until basically everything is 21 or 22, like including arcanes, honestly. And everything is 2.5 or 3 line potential.
Yeah. Yeah, because the flame costs are pretty high already.
Yeah, you have some. Yeah, so some people are like, if they have really good flames, they tend to look down on their worst flames and be like, these ones need to be better too. But I usually just look at like, what is your average flame, and if some of your flames are really high, I think that gives you a little bit of a pass to also hold on to some flames that aren't as good. Like your top, for example, isn't like crazy good, but your pants next to it are really good. So if you take the average of the two, then you're in a good spot. So you don't have to spend anything, I would say, right now. Like the earrings, yeah, of course, the earring flame is total garbage, but that's probably what you're actively throwing flames on right now. So it makes sense that it'll end up with something, 0.8 flame score that's not doing anything for you. That's pretty normal.
Yeah, and then also I'm not sure what to aim for with these non-advantaged items. So.
If you look at the progression grid, and you're basically here end of late game, right? So this is going to be majorly shifting, and the numbers are going to move around a lot. But you're basically looking for non-advantage flame score items here. So like something in the 40s is probably what you're looking for, like 40 to 48.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you hit like 4, if you hit like 4 all stat and something, or even like 4% all stat, I would say would be like the lowest to aim for. And then anything above that would be cool, basically.
I think my pendant has like 3% and nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the other ones are lower, so if you bring something else above that, then the pendant can, come back in rotation. But yeah, it's cool, that they're 22. So now, all you really need to do is just get a flame that doesn't totally suck, and then finish the potential, hopefully during the sale or maybe sometime later. But the best part about flaming superior is that you can never really fuck up the flame. If you lose all your flame score, you're not even gonna notice it.
Yeah, like right now I lose like 24 stat or something. So.
Big whoop. Like if all of your superior flame, like all 3 of these were 0, it basically be the same as now.
Yeah.
So yeah, the downside is they don't go very high, but the upside is they don't go very high. So you can just keep cubing and you don't fuck anything up.
Yeah.
All you need is one decent one, and then you can move on to the next piece. So yeah, 40 to 48, something like that, and then you're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything? Yeah, one of the first thing I saw was your inner-ability, but I wouldn't touch that at all until New Age, because a lot of that is going to change, right? Unique lines are going to be easier to get.
Yeah.
And you want your money going towards the stuff we talked about, but after that, you might want to invest, at least when you have I would say honor experience, at least like $1.5 million to 2 million, something like that. Then I would look at inner ability possibly, and then look for circulators to see if you can hit. So some people like to focus on getting 20% crit, but if you get a big legion, you actually can get by with either with no crit sometimes. Because
I used to have crit. I had like a epic crit line, but I rolled it over for whatever reason.
Well, maybe because you didn't need it anymore.
No, I think I wanted something better there. So.
You forgot to lock, yeah. But yeah, so some of that might be linked to how good your Legion and your Lynx get. But by then, you can look at your current situation and see what is like a realistic amount of crit I can get to. And by then, you probably also rolled out of maybe out of the emblem, but probably rolled out of the crit for the weapon, right? So you have a better look at like how much crit can I get from my Legion? How much can I get from my Lynx skills without losing too much damage there? And, if I get 10% from my inner ability, will that help me a lot? If I get 20%, would that put me in a different situation? And then based on that, circulate first for a good unique line. So either for crit, maybe for 10, maybe for 20, or go for like damage to debuffed, or maybe for drop rate. Don't underestimate drop rate unique inner ability, right? Because more chance for pitched and more chance for the soul Erdar as well, right? So that'll help you with your sixth job grind. But anything you do there that's big, you're gonna have to lock that and get back your attack speed +1 because you're two-handed weapon. So that's a big commitment. So make sure that you're willing to go that deep. It's not a problem to keep your current interoperability, but I would say keep at least like 1.5 to 2 mil before you decide to make a big change there.
Yeah, I think last time I was just rolling with Honor EXP and I had like 2 mil and I didn't hit anything, so
yeah, that can.
I'll probably wait for a long time.
It can happen, yeah. Yeah, New Age will make it better, but you've got enough other projects to worry about, so just gather Honor EXP in the background, and then once the other projects, it's going to be another 6 months before it's shining, and you need to remake all your money anyway. Then you can start looking at stuff like interoperability, maybe, 50% off, and then kind of see like, do I want to do anything here? But there's calculators for that as well that are a little. I don't know about the Scardor calculator for interoperability because I've heard some people come up with some really big numbers sometimes. But yeah, if you want to be safe, you go all the way up to like 3 mil. But with the extra changes, 1.5 to 2 mil should net you a pretty good end game interoperability.
Yeah. All right.
Okie dokie. All right. Was there anything you wanted to mention or anything you feel like we've passed up on? I think we got through all of it.
I think that was most of it, at least. I can't think of anything too important right now.
Okay. If you do find anything important, just hit me up on Discord or just ask me in the chat. You know where I am.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I wish you best of luck and the willpower to save. That's not as easy for everyone.
yeah.
But you made some upgrades on the bossing mules, and you can check the calculator to see how expensive everything is. So the more money you give yourself, and the more backups you give yourself, the more options you will have, and the more resilient you will be in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you have a contingency, and then something to fall back on. That's the goal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck, and I'll see you around.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, and I should have said good night because he's got to be super tired by now. And good night. He's probably got the audio muted. All right. Cool. It's been a while. Text description of the video or use !coaching over there on the Twitch chat in the top left. And you can have one of these sessions with me as well. There are paid sessions. There are sessions like these that you can redeem if you're a subscriber over on Twitch. You can just redeem them with points that you get just from watching the stream, which ends up coming out to a lot cheaper than the paid sessions. And you can possibly win one. Leave a comment with your Discord name saying that you would like to win, and you could be one of the 2 lucky people whose name I draw at the end of the month. Last month, I had to... Honestly... I didn't find a single comment of anyone who wanted to win. So I ended up giving them away in my Twitch chat. So if you're a YouTube commenter, you're hearing this right now, and you want one of these sessions, it's going to be a super high chance for you to win. So it's just that easy. All right? That being said, all of the stuff that you see here, well, not all of it. Okay, none of these. But these and these and these, all of these things, all of these resources can be found in my Twitch chat. You just use ! And then a topic. It's available for everyone. There's no paywall or anything like that. Everyone can use the commands. Even when I'm offline, you can just use my Twitch chat to do all of this. We are working on offloading all of this onto a website. We'll put it more, a little bit cleaner and a lot more in a central place. But until then, you can find it all there. Also, !info has a big repository of all of the possible commands. So there's like, what is it, like 300? How many do I have at this point? 230-ish. There's some meme and joke commands as well. So they're labeled here as well. So you can kind of see all of the info that's here. Some of them are directly useful for here, and the other ones you have to use through the chat. So yeah, if you need anything, let me know. Leave a comment on the video or just find me live over on Twitch. I stream every day, twitch.tv/Scardor. You'll find me there. And just reach out, and I'll do my best to help you out. Thanks for watching out. Thanks for watching the video. And I'll see you either on the next one or live on stream. Bye-bye.